Hello again. It's Paul with New Jersey Recovery and Wellness. All month long, we're going to be talking about how to support a loved one who you know and love who has a substance use disorder to commemorate National Recovery Month. Thank you for tuning in for day 5 of our 30-part series. Avoid stigmatizing language. Words have power. They have the ability to uplift masses, or they can incite riots and rebellion. Words have power on emotions too. Think about how the words that we use, the words that are sometimes used towards you that are motivating, uplifting, and inspire hope, and other words that are very, very hurtful and incite shame. This is why we need to pay attention to stigmatizing language for individuals who have substance use disorders. Now, I know that not everybody may be on the same page with this, so it could be useful to go over a couple of different words that are very common when we're talking about stigmatizing language towards folks that have substance use disorders. Now, there's way too many terms to go over specifically in this video, so we're really just going to highlight a few. Consider the terms addict, abuser, junkie, drunk, and so many others that really carry that same message. These are all very, very common used words that are stigmatizing in nature. It's nothing more than good old-fashioned name calling. The bully on the playground, the person that's really just trying to use words to put another person down. When we're describing a person that has a substance use disorder using this particular language, we are not joining, we are not supporting this individual. So it can be really, really helpful to be mindful, to be aware of the language that we're using, not just with this individual, but also when we're talking about this individual, when we're talking about people that have substance use disorders in general. Another set of terms that comes up quite frequently is being clean or being dirty. So we're using these adjectives, descriptor words, to describe a person. And if you work in the medical field or the behavioral health field, you may be using these words to describe a urine drug screening result. So think about it. If we are using these words to describe, and we're happening to describe a person with them, we're describing them as clean or describing them as dirty. Inherently, there's positive or negative connotations to either of these words. So dirty, if a person's dirty, that's not desirable. So if I'm hearing that I'm dirty, if I'm describing myself as dirty, then that means that I'm unclean, I'm not desirable. We can really get into the weeds on some of this stuff. However, what's important to note is the impacts that this have when we're using these words towards people and then those individuals start using these words towards themselves. This is why one of the biggest reasons why stigmatizing language adds barriers to people accessing healthcare, behavioral healthcare, and wellness in general. If we associate going to a healthcare provider with possibly hearing these terms, I might be a little bit hesitant, a little bit resistant to accessing that care. There's a lot more to be said about this, but we'll just leave this there. Now, I'm fully aware that some people are going to take a suck it up buttercup type of approach when it comes to stigmatizing language. However, as a professional, one thing that we know and see over and over again in research and literature is that stigmatizing language is not good for anyone. It's not good for the public system. It's not good for individuals working within the behavioral healthcare system, and it's not good for the consumers of those services, the individuals who have substance use disorders. It creates a barrier to accessing their services. It creates a barrier to their own personal wellness, and it causes lots of other psychological distress. So at the end of the day, there's one particular takeaway message that I really feel like we need to drive home here. Calling a person a substance use disorder an addict is the same thing as using an N-word for a person of color or using the F word for a person who identifies himself as being queer. Stigmatizing language just isn't cool. How do you support a person in your life who has a substance use disorder? Avoid stigmatizing language. Support them. Don't hurt them. We here at New Jersey Recovery and Wellness strongly encourage you to check out these commonly used terms and different ways to change our language to help support these people in our lives. Thank you for checking out Day 5 of our National Recovery Month. If you liked what you saw here, please do click that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you can get notification for other videos coming up in the future. And of course, always share these videos with anyone that you think may benefit from it. Thanks again. Check you out next time.